All right, today is, let's see, February, just kidding, for those that know that joke. January, no, okay, December 14th, 2025. How many are going, yes, thank you, thank you. All right, 2020 hindsight, we're excited about that, I can tell on that. Anyway, so tonight, what we've got coming up is a all live online certification program for sacred body language translation, and what we're talking about tonight, bio-optic holography and life upgrade coaching. Starts January and then February and then March for each one. And we also have another all for you coming up, which is a prerequisite. It's called the All for You Accelerator 2, and I'll talk a little about that in a bit. While I'm doing what we're doing tonight, my request is, big request, so please hear my heart on it. Every photo you see, please vote victory and see perfection. That person is still usually with us. I mean, even if they're not, vote their victory no matter what, because that's what I've learned. We make a difference. And so if you're not quite sure what that means, like I am my own permanent victory in the light is what I say. And then who's ever up speaking, who's ever eye photos, whatever is, I am your permanent victory in the light. And let's do that with each other right now. Let's charge us all with I am our permanent victory in the light. And let it be ever expanding. Let it go on out all the way around the planet in every direction until it comes right back and kisses us with perfection. Permanent victory of light. So tonight is about what I discovered about reading eyes. I've been involved in reading eyes for over 50 years. I was taught by Bernard Jensen and a few other folks how to read eyes. And I was taught how to read what was wrong. And then, I mean, people would come into my office in Kalamazoo, Michigan. They come in, I could see them in the parking lot. They come in, look normal. I could see them walk by my office. And then when they left, they would leave hunched over, holding their kidney, ashen gray, or whatever. And I knew that what I was showing them in their eyes was not helping them at all. It was sucky, wucky, and ducky for them. Anyway, so I finally said, I'm not doing that. I mean, it's not why I'm here. So, and I really believe it was my spiritual self going, just change it up and ask questions. And so I started asking questions. This is a long story short. I started asking questions instead of telling I'd ask. And that's really what our whole system is about. And one particular young man came in, his whole family had come in, and he was the youngest sibling and child of the parents. And his dad was a medical doctor. His mom was way up in the social strata of Kalamazoo, Michigan, where the drugs are coming from, supposedly to take care of the COVID. Anyway, I thought I'd share that because there's more billionaires per square foot there than anywhere else, because I believe they sell drugs legally. All right. So anyway, so I'm reading his eyes, read his left eye first, and have you ever, I'm doing my job. And then I go to the right eye, and there's this black, I'll show you some of this, black radial furrow in an area of the brain called acquired mental speech. And so I went, all right, right eye is left brain. That shows the left brain. So I said, have you ever had a difficult time putting your own thoughts into words verbally? And he goes, well, yeah, I'm dyslexic. Okay, then. So I have this chart, and I back then was dyslexic. And I went, not going to happen. So I asked a dyslexic how to spell dyslexia. That's not a good idea. Being a dyslexic, asking a dyslexic how to spell dyslexia, I wouldn't even have known if it was right anyway. So he attempts to spell it, and he starts to feel emotion. I said, well, breathe, feel it, what's happening. Where are you? That was my story at that point. Still is a little bit that same way. And he went back to a memory. He literally sat right there. We didn't have the camera back then. And sat right there, breathe, feel it. Where are you? What's happening? My dad's calling me stupid because of the way he learned. He learned in a different manner. And I had him would love it and, stay. And he relived the memory. He brought love into it, and he forgave his father. Cool. Awesome, man. We're both crying. It was awesome. So I went back, and I was going, whatever. I don't have a clue how to write that down. And I'm not going to ask him again, because look what I did. So I went back and looked in his eye with my light, and that black genetic pattern, radial furrow, or the fiber in this area of the brain, flare is called, was hypo or dark. When I look back, it was no longer, it's genetic now. It was no longer dark. It was bright blue. He had blue eyes. In other words, that he had reversed the curse. And I sat there going, no one taught me we can upgrade this stuff. I mean, I can tell you all that now. I just sat there going, oh, no. Anyway. And so I started at that point to realize I mean, I can tell you now how to language it. Back then, it was just, oh, whoa. So, I mean, again, now I'm way ahead of myself where I was back then. So I realize now that anything, if we can go downscale, we can go upscale. Got it? Our greatest weakness should be our greatest strength. Bam. I mean, yeah, of course now, but back then I was like, no, this is the way it is. You know, you have genetic suppression, and the sins of the parents are visited upon the children for 4 generations. And you can see that in the eye. Well, so are the blessings visited upon the children for 4 generations. Hello, let's have at it. Oh yeah. But again, back then it was more like, oh, whatever. Okay, so again, that's 50 years ago, which is, anyway, it's a drop in the bucket relative to eternity. So all this time, I want to show you this. What I've been realizing is our eyes are dynamic. And it's way more than that when I start showing you some of these pictures and charts and all the other stuff. What I realize, I mean, I really believe my mission in life is to help people understand there's a way to go and take a look at our eyes, or have somebody who's trained in it. And we don't have to wait for something, body language, to fire off, dig, scratch, or whatever. We don't have to do any of that. We can actually just see the blueprint of what we're here for and translate it into our mission in life with exacting specificity, and then through decree, prayer, affirmation, upgrades nutritionally, take new action. And our greatest weakness should be our greatest strength. And we add in, let the weak man say, I am strong. So I use scripture real heavily, but I'm not talking about it relative to religion. I'm talking about like quantum physics and law, like gravity. And what I found about miracles are laws. They're just higher laws than the standard mundane operating thing. And how many like the idea of being able to understand like a mechanical advantage? You know, how many like the idea of being able to operate miracles consistently because they're laws almost as accurate as a mechanical law. So I'll show you this. The iris of the eye is, again, iridology would say this is the map of the body, and it's accurate. It's the map of the body. Left eye, left side of the body, right brain. Right eye, and I'll show you this. Right eye, right side of the body, left brain. And so the iris is the map of the body. It's also the map of our subconscious. It is exactly translatable into what we believe or be alive in to be true. And we can change our belief. We can go from I can't to I can. I want to I choose, I have, I enjoy. I don't know, I choose to know. I give myself permission. And all of a sudden, everything, the terrain of our body begins to change. We used to do this way back. We had somebody who would do live cell, and he wasn't involved in what we were doing, but we would, you know, take him a slide and look at it and go, all right, yeah. And then I work with somebody for 5 minutes, take another sample of blood, take it in there, and it goes, well, this is not the same person. And we're going, that's true. The person has made some shifts, and literally he couldn't see. I mean, he might, if he stared at it long enough, he could say, oh yeah, I can see that. But he literally went, that's not the same. Same with the eyes. The minute we move upscale, the eyes change. So I'm going to show you some of this tonight, not just talk about it. I'm going to show it to you. So vote victory and seek perfection. And I ask our advanced facilitators who are on or doing the deep dive with me to share before we start what it's meant for you to be studying this, and also working in a very tight group about what really is available in the eye. So who's involved in our current deep dive from the immersion that we have? Who's willing to share? Go ahead, Christy.
The greatest thing for me in the BOH.
And that stands for Bio-Optic.
Bio-Optic Holography.
Yeah, just so everybody knows.
Has been hearing what my greater mission is. So many times in the past, I've heard a negative or a limitation. This was really the first time for me that someone said, oh, I can see this great thing is coming on deck for you, or, oh, I can see all the work that you've put in, or, oh, I can see all these wonderful things coming up for you. And that has been a huge shift for me to know, like, wait a minute, somebody sees good in me. Like, that has really opened up my whole world, and I'm very thankful for that.
Awesome. Excellent. Me as well on that one. All right, who else? Cynthia, yes, go ahead, honey. She had that look.
Yes, I have that look. I'm looking for my mute thing. Unmute. I agree with Christy 100%. Studying and learning and seeing the sacredness in my eyes, as well as permission to see perfection in my fellow study buddies' eyes, has been huge for me. My very first eye reading was 2 years ago. That was my first photograph. And Bob asked a couple of questions. And I was kind of like, how did you know that? Who told you that? Who did you talk to before we met? And how do you know that information? Because I knew what he was asking, and he could see it clearly in my eye. And just a few little things, a few words, a few decrees, little tiny things were huge for me in my life. And I recall clearly the two words, I shine. I never thought before that. That was a whole new thought for me. I shine. I get to shine. I shine. And he said, yes, it's right here in your eye. And I was like, oh, I shine. I get to shine. Complete mind shift and body shift for me with just a couple words. I love seeing my movements. I've had 6, 8 different photos. I love seeing the changes. I love, just Christy said, seeing the affirmations. Hey, you've been working on this. It shows. Yes, I am this, and it shows. And I love having a camera, and I love sharing tools and gifts and my upgrades with others. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. And it doesn't end, does it? We've been going deeper and deeper. It's like, well, let me just go one more step. So it's really about finding the word and then just staying with it until the person doesn't just improve. They get woken up. It's awesome completely. Adam, even though you're not in that particular one, you've done this a million times, jump in. What have you noticed?
For me, and like I'm paraphrasing, with all you're getting, get understanding. I love understanding myself, life situations, patterns of my family, where they've come from, my lineage type stuff. And the map of our eyes, it's just, I mean, it's a miracle. I mean, it really, to be able to fully understand, right? I mean, because all of us have asked this question: where do we come from? Who are we? What are we doing here? And our eyes show all of this stuff. So be able to translate, oh, well, this is why my dad did this. Oh, this is why this is in my right eye. Oh, well, this is what my mom's tendencies are, my grandma, my grandpa, so on and so forth. Being able to understand what the patterns and tendencies are in my life, my own personal experience, and being able to trace them back over my lineage, like Bob said earlier, you know, reversing the curse. We can restore 4 generations before us and 4 generations after us by the work that we do right now. And this is the only thing that I've ever found on the planet so far, coming up on 45 years of existence this time, that does this, and that's Bio-Optic Holography. So, I mean, it's just super beautiful. Something else that, for me, there's zero rapport building or asking a million questions. It doesn't really take that much with body language translations. And sometimes people have a tendency with body language to have a guard up. So it's just something magical. So, I mean, I've yet to be able to really put it into words, but when someone can visually see their own eye, and by the way that we're trained and able to facilitate and ask the questions depending on what we see, just something happens where it's like we create security, and the rapport is just automatic. I mean, people just get it once they see their own eye visually, to be like, oh my God. And it's just way easier for me to do a reading Bio-Optic, reading someone's eyes, than to do body language translations, even though I can do it both pretty easily. That's just, I mean, there's just so many facets and things that are beautiful about reading our eyes.
I love it. I'm going to jump on that one myself. So before I had a camera, I mean, I've always had cameras, I mean, for decades. and they were 35 millimeter. So we take their picture and then would be sent off with all the other film, and we would eventually send them their slide with their name on it and the date and all that. And you know, I might use it for a class. That would I'd definitely use it for a class, but not live interaction. So once I went digital in '08, I had my first digital camera at that point, I would take the photo and then we'd sit right there and do the work. And sometimes people, I realize this is way different because they can, now I can tell you this, they can actually see, and it's as if they're homeopathically, light when put together with light neutralizes. I remember one person, this was out in Yelm, Washington, goes, "Be quiet. I'm upgrading myself right now." I mean, they understood whatever the I can'ts and that, and they, just a second. And I was like, whoa, this is heaven. I don't have to do anything except translate. And they go, you know, anyway, it's sacred. That's what I can say. So anyone else in our Bio-Optic team, is Edwards, can you come on and just share what it's been like to study all that? If you're visual force, if not, we can come on in a bit. Anyone, anywhere? All right, so going once, going twice, just kidding. All right, so what I'm going to do is share some stuff tonight. Edwards, can you share what it's been? Oh, go ahead.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Edwards.
Hey, hello, everybody. I've known Bob for 27 years and experienced Bio-Optic Holography in 1993, 94. That was on the VHS tape, is where I received my reading. So that was a lot of fun. I found it to be extremely helpful and accurate. This is after going through the body energy and language course and mastery back then. So it was kind of a stacked experience, and being able to see a holographic view, so to speak, or more information about yourself and what's it turning into and other attributes, not just from languaging and body language, but also in the eye, to me is remarkable. And it really does prove that we live in a holographic universe, that everything is in everything, and the eye is the most accurate. Most recently, I also purchased a camera, so I'm looking forward to providing that service and helping people, especially starting with my family. But the one thing this time around with the eye picture is revealing to me the amount of my genius, so to speak, that I get to share with the world, that for whatever reason in the past I was holding back on, and now I get to step into it fully with great confidence. And the affirmation, my affirmation of sharing myself with the world is very empowering. And so I thank Bob for bringing us this version of Bio-Optic Holography.
Awesome, beautiful. I'm going to share one thing. In '08, we had a 10 megapixel camera, and I mean, I still have it. I upgraded. I haven't even worked it. The new, I have a 24 meg added to it, but we were using the current camera everybody else is using now. And I remember Adam and a couple other folks, they all took photos of their eyes. And I said, I'm not even going to learn how to use this camera, because in the past I made myself right being the only one that could use my camera, the other one. And I had a whole class of 20 some people, and I let them all take pictures, and not one picture turned out. And so it's like, so I went and took 20 some people in 20 minutes, whatever it was, bang, bang, bang. And every picture was perfect. So obviously I had that figured out. So I wasn't going to learn it. So they all got the camera, they took pictures of their eyes, and it was 24 meg versus 10 megapixel. So 2.4 times more something. So I said, well, how are the pictures? Yeah, they're awesome. And then they go, yeah, they're awesome. Yeah. Wasn't it like that, Adam?
Yeah, it was. And the reason where he's going with this is all of us were like, holy crap, can we even see more? And all of us began little subtleties of judging ourselves, because we realized there was actually more to heal and resurrect and transform than we thought originally. So it was awesome. And it was like, okay, time to dig a little deeper and actually do the work more. That it's just more, it just revealed more. So it was miraculous that we were able to see such detail.
Yeah. And when I heard it from everybody at different times. And I started to go, oh, this is really everybody. Oh yeah, it's really cool. And then it was like, oh yeah, it's really cool. It's really like, oh man. Anyway, it was awesome. So, and I'll share you a little of both of those photos tonight, because I got a lot of photos, tens of thousands of them. So, and we're not going to do them all tonight. So, thank you all for sharing those that I've shared. I appreciate it. Just to give you a flavor energetically. So I think what I'm going to do is do this. And I'm just going to get you used to seeing photos, everybody. That's what I'm going to do tonight. Come on, bud. There we go. I believe I can see you all. And you can all see this eyeball, yes? Everybody good on the eyeball? All right. So, yeah, and this is a 10 megapixel. Even though it's awesome, I'm going to show you some. This is just to get you used to what we see in the eye. The white of the eye, I now know, is others. It's the map of our outer world. And this is all either energy, people, places, conditions. There's all this is translatable. Anything in the iris is the map of our body, and it's also our subconscious. And it's translatable to thought, word, and emotional patterns. And then this little area here, which this is our assimilation ring, and that's our connection to our creator. It's our central nervous system. It's also our stomach lining. And if it's darker, it's hypo or doubt. And if it's bright orange, not this color orange, it's actually anatomically the way the color of that portion of our eye, which is our central nervous system, is blaze orange. So I'll show you some of that as we go. So, and many people who thought they had a brown eye didn't. I'll show you some of that as well. So, and I'll build a little bit. This is the left eye, a pupil offset toward the nose. You don't have to know any of that, but just to get you warmed up on it a bit. And there's different zones in the body. I'll show you some drawings on that in a bit, but this is the stomach lining. And then the first zone, which is underneath the colon, you can see it, the little halo-y line right there, that's stomach. And then large and small intestine, this would be small intestine to about there, large intestine, left side of the body. And then just outside of this, organs and glands. And then out here, bones and muscles, then lymph, and then skin. And this is a good eye to show you all this on. This is really cool. It was just loaded up. So this is in some systems it's called a lesion or a lacuna or a crypt or whatever. And what I found is in translating this into thought, word, and emotional patterns, it just happened. I woke it up, I spoke it, and somebody said, "Could you say that again?" I said, "I hope so." So please know it just came out of my mouth, and I heard it as well as everyone else going, "Okay then." So this is a belief, this is a tendency of a belief system because it's open. And once they start to open, it's so much easier to shift a tendency. How many of you have got a whole bunch of little issues that you like to rely on as your excuse? How many, come on, how many have a little bit? Even now, how many going, "Is that showing my eye?" Yes, it does. And it's nice to know, like this is, look, open, awesome. This is opening up. This almost looks closed. I'll bring it up. I'm learning how to use my mouse in a different way. But notice it's opening. Got it? So let's come over here. Still getting used to this new version. This is one side is closed, one side's open, one side's closed, this side is opening, filling in. So these are all tendencies. So this is way, like that might be closed. That's a belief system believed in. This could be a belief system believed in, except that it's starting to fill in. So pretty soon I can give someone a snapshot of where you are, translate all that, and then have them find certain decrees, prayers, affirmations, and new agreements where they can walk new. And the moment they do, if they actually be alive in their statement or believe it, be alive in, or they feel the meaning in each word deeply enough, and we use nutrition, got various forms of nutrition to restore faith. And I used to think that heals. No. And then, well, all right, nutrition doesn't, it restores faith. Faith heals. No, it doesn't. Faith, it says we have it. Faith without works, without action is death. Faith with works is life forever. So how many get, once you get faith to do something, go do it. Otherwise, you're going to kill a dream or something until you have to resurrect it and bring it back on. So this is the whole eye shows this amazing place where we are, and it shows where we are, not who we are. So I'll give you a whole bunch more visuals here. This is the right eye. And I'm just take you through every one of these eyes. All of this is translatable. The bright white is usually pain and compulsion. And no eye color is better than another, only your eye to itself. If you're moving upscale, your eye will get lighter. If you're moving downscale, your eye will get darker. And all this white in there is compulsion. I've got to, and I'm afraid I can't. And this is assimilation right there. And this gray matter is even when I receive, it goes away. So we're able to translate that. I receive with grace and ease. Everyone just add that to your life right now. I receive with grace and ease. I receive with grace and ease. And I trust my love. I love my trust. I receive with grace and ease. Got it? Because this is doubt. Whenever it's dark, it's doubt. And this person's running hot. Gotta, have to, must, gotta. That's what all this white catarrh, lymphatic congestion, undigested polysaccharide mucoprotein buildup. But why is it in there? It's because that person is, got pain, compulsion, same thing. So I'm showing you different versions of where we are. The wavy fiber, hyper. Gotta. Hot and cold. And again, person would say the brown eye. That's not a brown eye. Nothing about that's a brown eye. It's got brown in it or orange in it. And again, this is such a great eye to show you. So if you all can notice the white areas coming in, this person is starting to turn their light on. Now, what I learned, why I love doing this live, I learned so much when I got my first digital camera. This is from that camera, because I was able to show people, but I contemplated the eye photo for 50 minutes. It was a 50-minute session. And I'm sitting right there looking left or right eye, and I began to notice, all right, that there's a little bit more here of the iris underneath there. But then I started to see this halo way out here. You have to defocus a little to see it. So if I measure this measurement of the iris here and here are going to be the same. Pupils offset toward the nose. There's going to be less dimension. But if I measure from here all the way out, this is others, this is self. If I measure from here all the way out to this halo line, maybe right there, even if I measure to here, and then this is going to be the same. If I just measure to there, if I measure this the same, that means way up here, this is how much of that person's genius, their brain is up here. This is how much of their genius they've given up hiding with other people. So it shows codependence, where we worry what other people are going to think. So if it's true, our greatest weakness should be our greatest strength, and somebody has let the white or others or thoughts of others make them hide their genius, this individual's only path is to inspire their world, to set their healthy boundaries, to co-empower their world. And that's when I began to see that there are archetypes. There's simple understanding of archetypes where, oh, when somebody sees orange is confusion, when they see this pull down, they're here to inspire their world. And every person I've worked with, which is tens and tens of thousands of people on this, once I was able to help them, scripture says it this way. It says, when you have a name of a thing, you have power over the thing. So when somebody, oh yeah, and I'm kind of whatever, and well, I'm doing pretty good. But when somebody can visually see they're here and there's so much more they've been hiding from others or because of others, and all they have to do is set their healthy boundaries and teach their world how to honor them and shine their genius, they begin to inspire others. Yes, Cynthia? Yeah, I mean, it's wild. And once you know, it's like, all right, might as well get to it. Yep. And again, this is lymphatic congestion. This is I can't and it's hard. This is a little bit of resentment. This is stress in the environment. The closer it is, the more current, the further it may be away, it's held back. Anytime there's a line that comes along that, this is the individual out picturing into their world their belief. In other words, everything going on in our world is us pushed out, externalized, everything. As we think in our heart, so are we. This is a map of that. And I mean, you can sit with somebody in a few minutes and share with them where they are, not who they are, just where they are. How many love the idea that right now, whatever's up for you is not who you are? In fact, even the size of the challenge is the power and strength in you choosing, ready to come online by choice, by making it easy. So I was just showing you more and more. This is a little like, I don't want to be seen, a little lens, resentment, sodium, whatever all this stuff is. This is a little death wish. So again, what the point is that I don't really see the limitation anymore. I see the strength. I see right through to the strength. Really, I'm not just being positive. I know that back when I was 20-some years old, I read a book called I Am Adorations and Affirmations, and I believe it's in that book. Somewhere in there, it said, it was an I Am decree. It said, mighty I Am presence, seize possession of my eyes. Make my eyes, make them see and visualize only your perfection, forever self-sustained. I truly believe with all my heart, by me giving and living that and loving it, I relaxed for the first time in my life or second time, that when, oh, I love it. I don't have to see what's wrong. And then I read a decree before that, I ignite the Christ within all eye contact, relaxed again. And scripture says, if you see a twig in your brother's eye, take the log or beam out of your own. And that really was like learning how to see what was wrong in iridology. It was like, oh, wait, I'm telling them what's wrong. Instead of, now I realize, oh, my greatest weakness shall be my greatest strength. Let the weak man say, I am strong. So this is all reversible and upgradable. So I'll give you a few more photos and then I'll give you more instruction. So every eye is different. And it shares a lot of where they are. And there's a lot of things that are universal, archetypes, I call them. And I'll go back one. And this is like, this is thyroid, right eye. This would be coming into the thyroid. And I would say something like, oh, let's see, have you been holding back a little of your issues about authority? I mean, you get that. How many of you ever had issues that are compounding issues? I thought I was over that. Here it is again. Well, I will show you that. So the only thing that this person can do is forgive for no reason and to reclaim their authority. What? To reclaim my I have authority? Yes, you do. Are you sure? I gave it away a long time ago. And I've hated people ever since. And this is hate, resentment, resent, sent, back, forth. Got it. So I forgive for no reason. I reclaim my authority. Just that alone is going to make a huge difference for that person. Complete, awesome. And that's what this is all about, is finding so the person can understand, oh yeah, reality, and then help them understand how to morph it. And then we use nutrition and get target specific with the nutrition, lubricating the friction, putting in ease to old frictions, and then voicing our choice and decreeing what we choose. And these are, go back here, this is stress rings. Notice most people would say they have brown eye. Well, there's orange on top, but underneath they have a blue eye. I found every eye, every race underneath brown is blue. I'm not saying blue's better. I'm simply saying when somebody moves upscale, this person moving upscale, because these are not dark concentric circles. It used to be negative self-talk, like a little darker here. They haven't done these yet. But notice how it's lighter. That means they're starting to do positive self-talk, which is the remedy. So again, this right eye, if I measure from here all the way out to somewhere out here, well, look, they've given up their identity and their genius to others. You know, so I set my healthy boundaries. What? I set my healthy boundaries. What? What's that mean? Well, no, I'm always overwhelmed. People always run me around. People always, no. By our words, we shall be justified. And by our words, we shall be condemned. So this is where language comes in so big. It's all in there. This is the map of what we currently be alive in or believe to be true. So I'm going to test you on this in a minute. Oh, these are I can't, it's hard, I can't, it's hard, I can't, it's hard. You have all this white, beautiful fiber, really thin, moving forward. Oh, no way, Jose. Oh yeah, I can. No way, no, can't. Gotta, can't. Or letting love in. Oh, no, get back. But look at the fibers coming all the way out. That person is starting to trust love again. They're starting to share in the experience of love in their life. So that's that. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of these. I hope you're all, oh, that's a fun one. This is like, let's see, this is the taking someone's eye photo. This can happen. No, No way. I'm not going to let you see who I am. And that's why we say, do I have permission to read your eyes? Yes. Do I have permission to see perfection? Yes. Do I have permission to discover with you your greater mission in life? Because they're in there, their personality or whatever is going, no, no. So then we go a little wrestling match. Who's ever lifting the lid? This is the next level. Oh, hello. Are you in there? Hello. Okay, let's have a little conversation. And then, no. Can you see that the person is like, I'm not going to let anyone see who I am. Well, if you know that we're seeing perfection, maybe you will. And anyway, I thought I'd share that. Well, we're just going to take what we can. It gets wild. All right, so that's that. So now, any comments first, and then we'll go on. Just mic yourself if you would, please. Or Adam, just what's your take on seeing all that? Because for me, the first time I ever saw it, I was like, wow, and oh, ah. Anyway, comments, quick questions, and then we'll go on. All right, everybody satisfied? Anybody see yourself in there? No, probably not. Pamela, go ahead. Mic yourself first, honey. Always mic yourself. Mic yourself first, and then we can find you.
Oh, no, you just said anybody see yourself in there. And
I tend to do that. And raise your hand. I'm going to call on you. I recommit.
No, I actually had my eye photos up to compare what you were saying.
Good idea. Way cool.
Because I know about the nutrition side, which I've been doing for years, and my eyes haven't changed. So I was very interested to see what it was with emotions and what's going on.
Yeah, so be it. Well, let's do that. I'm going to do that next. Let's see. I know how I can get to where I'm going to go. One moment. I've got a huge amount of information I got to go find here. Come on, bud. If the amount of photos I have is wild. Where's before and after? Come on. All right. One moment, please. Here we go. No. I got it. All right, here we go. All right, same. We're gonna. Now I can do this. Takes a little bit. I'll get it. All righty. Now to be able to see you all. Cool. You can all see this. Yes, now we're good to go. So I took the name of this particular person off. If they're on tonight, I'm going to have them share, but I believe this person's not on tonight. So this was just recently in a class that we did, and we were together for 11 days. I believe that's that one. And her mother's been involved in natural health for a long time, basically permanently. And when she was 20 years old, imagine now she's like twice that. But anyway, she got a number of children, so that'll have to tell you that. And the woman that read her eyes, the iridologist way back, kept asking her over and over and over again if she did drugs, and she's never done any drugs. That's not part of her path at all. And she was a little offended. And her eyes, her pupil have been this size most of her life up until that point. So then to me, nutrition can help, all that stuff, but I've got my new book, The Word Becomes Flesh. I believe consciousness is senior over everything else. So if you just know that's my format. Consciousness is senior. Yes, I'm going to use everything else that's going to help, but consciousness is senior. So in this 11 days, this was brought up. We took pictures right away, photos right away. When she shared her story about her pupil size, it was early on. When she left, I got to move this just a bit. When she left, before she left, everybody, we took after photos, didn't see them right away. But here's her after. This is 11 days, no major nutrition, no metabolic electronics, none of that stuff. This is just after. This is what her eye was like for maybe ever until then. And this is by saying, I am secure. I'm secure. I'm secure in my world. I love being secure. And this translates to, there's a sphincter muscle in here. And if it's that big, it means that person is overwhelmed. It's like adrenal exhaustion, but they can't control the amount of light. Even the bright light, that's all the smaller that autonomic response could get in that bright light. That's it. And then by just saying, I'm secure, I love being secure, whatever her words were, is all about secure. I feel secure. This is the shift. I mean, this is heaven. I mean, you get it now. Wow, look at that. I mean, and anyway, I go back one, look at the fibers, look at remember negative self-talk. Got it? Remember that negative self-talk, the little concentric circles there. And we go forward, you can actually begin to see how wide open they are. In other words, positive self-talk. Go back one. If you look, the scleras pull up over, hiding from the world, hiding from the world. This is left eye, I believe. So if I measure, if I measure from here to this halo line right there, you can kind of see it. If I measure from here to there, the iris goes all the way out to there underneath the sclera. If I measure from here all the way out to there, this measurement's the same. So from there all the way up to maybe there, this is how much of her genius she's been hiding from her world. And this is her after. Look at, now look, measure from here to where, even if I just go, look, she's uncovering, I'll go back, I'll go forward. That's in 11 days. We're not doing, I mean, yeah, we did nice, healthy food and all that stuff. It's consciousness, kids. Every one of you, I recommend you say, I'm secure in my world. The benefit is high. It's the same words with meaning. I feel the meaning in each word deeply enough.
Hey, Bob, show them on this photo, 6 o'clock, about understanding now that you went through what you went through in 11 days and see the fibers of how wavy and hyper they are right there to the 11 days after and how straight and more secure and understanding she is now.
Yeah, I can do that in every fiber in there, but I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's something
But I know, I got it. And well, let's go back one. So do you all get, let's look, boink, boink. It's a closed, got it. Orange is confusion. Go forward. Look what's happening. They're closing up. Little fibrils in there. On and on. So again, this is we can be with this for a long period of time. This is standard operating procedure where when somebody feels the meaning in each word deeply enough is the key to move the needle. And we can all do that. That's why my new book is, and with Marcella Von Harding is so important right now, because everyone can add with feeling and meaning a phrase, a decree that moves us, claims what we choose. Here's another one. Here's before and after. And I believe this is someone on our call tonight. What do you think? Is that you, Adam?
It looks like it.
Well, I'm pretty sure because the next one is Marky Mark.
Yeah.
So this one's, so Adam, you share your story on before and after, would you?
Yeah, so I've been on tour with Bob for maybe about 8-9 months. Started in 2013, and if this was like my first photo, it was tricky even the way codependently I asked Bob to even do my eye photos and then do a session with me. I had seen miraculous changes because Bob used to take the photos at whatever intro class we did or whatever all day class. And then we had the setup in our hotel room where they would come in and do a live session with them. And I would see these people go in, looking, feeling, being a certain way, and then coming out brand new. Just the amount of transformation I was seeing was, I mean, it was amazing. And so one night we're sitting in our hotel room and I was like, I think I'm ready to have a session now. And anyway, that was so codependent. And Bob, just because who he is, he agreed to do that, even though he probably shouldn't at that time. Anyway, we proceeded to do a bio-optic session, and really it was like 40 minutes of just struggle and me questioning his strategies. And I began to tell him what he was going to tell me. And it just became where it wasn't really a blessing to me at that time. And so, I mean, we continued doing our work together. And then we had BE at the beginning of 2014, somewhere in there, February, I believe, in Waller, Texas. And what had happened while I was on the table, I was in my endocrine session, and something came up for me that was just, at that time, it was impossible for me to forgive. And so the people that were holding my points, they began to sweat and squirm and even start to get bitchy, and just, they were having a big time struggle with holding my points. And me, I didn't know any different, because I'm the one in this session. I was holding back. I didn't want to even touch what was coming up for me. And the more I resisted, the harder it was for the people holding points for me. And so Bob sensed that. He was pretty close to where I was at my table. And basically he called me out. I mean, not basically, he did call me out. And, said a few things to me, like I sprung up on the table, and I just shared with him that, no human can handle this. And just because he knows what to do, man, it's just amazing. But anyway, he got right up to my face, nose to nose, and he just stayed with me. It was the first time that I've ever in my life, and I was, I imagine, maybe 37, 38 at that time. So 37, 38 years of my existence, no man had ever, first of all, challenged me in that way where we didn't get to fisticuffs. Usually when another male challenged me in that way, I fought. That's the way I was raised. You don't back down, blah, blah, blah. But Bob got in my face in a way that was so loving and compassionate that he was willing to stay there for forever if it took that long. And he just stayed with me. And the only thing I could see was just both of our, well, I couldn't see my own, but the only thing I could see was his eyeballs. The whole entire room was just translucent. It was just white. And it was just Bob and I. And he began to ask me a few questions, and it was just magic. I mean, something happened in me where I was actually able to understand what some of the laws are. And Bob shares this over and over again, and I believe it to be accurate. I've had to do it multiple times in my own life, is to forgive the unforgivable. And not because anyone deserves it, but because I did. So he began to facilitate me in that moment. I was able to get back on the table, go through the rest of my session, forgive that situation in my life. And then, as you can see, what my next photo looks like.
And just describe the difference in fiber, because this is standard operating procedure for you back then. Yes.
Yes.
The structure of your eye, and then the wavy fiber hyper. It's again very sensitive human being. These are very fine fibrils, all that stuff. And I'm sure you're brought up to be very sensitive and gentle.
Not. Yeah, so in this one, as you can see, like the other ones we were just showing you, I was way overwhelmed, just super hyper, people pleaser. I was trying to I'm a good person, but I was doing things out of character, out of stuff that I didn't really want to do, just to get accepted, so that people would see that I was a good person. And I wasn't very secure in who I was. I really didn't have a clue yet. I mean, I had, little inklings of who I was, but I really didn't understand or know who I was. And by me coming up with a few decrees as well, and I believe they were just like the ones you went through, I'm secure, I trust God. And I love all of my experience, and I forgive X, Y, and Z. And as I began to understand all that stuff, look at how my pupil size went down and how some of my fibers completely straightened out versus being way hyper and all over the place.
Yeah.
Being secure and having healthy boundaries and being able to trust and actually use my voice to share what I required.
So you can all see the assimilations, some areas turning on. He was already starting to receive trust. This is trusting direct connection. And then, look, that's amazing that much happens in other words, it doesn't have to be that intense, but it doesn't matter how it works. It doesn't, love wins. And when I wouldn't have known that this is Adam's eye if I was looking for, he had his current eyes, and I was scanning to find his next slide, I wouldn't have known this was his eye, because that it's hard to know that structure is here, and everybody's got this. That's the beauty. Yeah, the sins of the parents are visited upon the children for 4 generations, but every one of us that when we're moving upscale, we're resurrecting and rebuilding our whole lineage. I'll give you an example on that. When I reached the age of 26, I'm full on in my adult life doing this kind of stuff. My sister was 2.5 years my senior, and my dad was Native American and whatever, European. And my sister he had black hair, black brown eyes. My sister had dark brown hair, black brown eyes. Both of them, when I turned 26, that same year, they had to get their driver's license changed to blue eyes. They didn't do any of it. Everyone in your world is moving upscale with you. And nobody told me that was gonna, I mean, I'm a reporter on that. Well, basically, again, everyone realized that when you raise anything in you, everybody that's connected to you is moving upscale as well. Thank you, Adam. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
And then this is one of our good brothers, Mark, and he had a very similar thing when he first did his first body electronics. And let's just say that numb was about what he was committed. He said it, his words. And then, I mean, this is phenomenal. You know, I go back one and I go forward. And I believe I picked a different eye, but they both show the same thing, meaning it's his eye. So do you get a sense? Straight, pure, dense fiber, that means it's like a delivery system. Whatever we receive, we send out. Whatever we pick up in the world, we can take in. Anyway, that's that. I'm giving you some more current stuff. Comments, and then we'll go to the next thing.
I have a question about the little orange flecks, like on Mark's nabs that you just showed there, how
Yes.
On one it wasn't there, and then on the other one it was.
Well, yeah, because I picked the left and right eye. I just grabbed them about 20 minutes before we started. So I didn't pick a left, I picked a left, right, just to show fibers. But anyway, the orange fleck, what about it?
So where that is and how big in the size, that correlates with the body as well?
Oh, yes. Anything in there represents, it correlates right to the body. And if it's on like a little orange, I can show you a lot more of these when we go. Let's see. I'll tell you what, I'll get to that in a minute. I'll show you. It's called a psora, P-S-O-R-A, or psoric itch spot, or a miasm. So the little orange spot is not in the fiber structure of our body or eye, it's laying on top. So somebody, when I finally figured this out, if somebody has a lot of those little miasms or psora in there, they were strong enough to help raise many, because they took it on from their lineage. And can you imagine? It's just a thought form. And remember, what builds our whole body, this is what's so amazing, is the sperm and the egg. Massive, huge egg and massive, huge sperm, yes? No, micro, tiny, and yet building out. So you get, it's all energy, and the word becomes flesh. So how many are going, I can, I am, I will, I choose? Yes, it's so important. All right. So anyone else? Comments, questions, thoughts, statements? I'll do some charts. All right, and can you all see this? Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna change it up a bit. Oh, I'm gonna have to make you all a little smaller. Maybe not. We'll see. So this is my eye chart from before black and white, but this will give you a sense of, that's the pupillary frill. This is the stomach lining. This is small and large intestine, organs and glands, bones and muscles, lymph and skin. And so this, the inner core, we heal from the inside out, from the head down in reverse order as the symptoms have appeared. So this gives you a sense of, oh, there's this amazing structure in there that we can actually translate. Then there's these 180 degree, there's many different, 180, 30, 60, 90, 150, that kind of stuff. But the 180s are really high value. They're really amazing. I like a lot of my sacred body language translation. I literally got it by studying the eyes. I learned so many reflexes that oh, yeah, I wouldn't have known them any other way. I'll go through just to show you some. And this placement is easy. You can figure it out pretty simple once people do it. And then there's the, like if there's a dark area in the eye, if it's basically black, that would be a level of unconsciousness. And in between unconsciousness and apathy is the whole scale of emotions. Unconsciousness, apathy, person will go through unconsciousness, apathy, grief, fear, anger, pain, enthusiasm, which is the same as I don't know, I can't, it's hard. Oh, woe is me, I've always felt this way. What if, fear, anger, you prick, you did this to me. And then pain, ooh, here's how I created it. And then enthusiasm. So what I've learned is we start to move up scale through this whole unconsciousness, apathy, grief, fear, anger, pain, enthusiasm. Then between apathy and grief, unconsciousness, apathy, grief, fear, anger, pain, enthusiasm, apathy. And then through that to grief, then through fear, then anger, then pain, then enthusiasm. And so, come on, buddy. And so the eye literally gives us a sense of where we are in our full enthusiastic enthusiasm. It's really wild. And then the structure of this is as if we're looking at, somebody's looking up and we're looking from the pupil opening through a cutaway of the iris. And that's what I got for that. Now let's go do no, go over just a bit if I can. Yeah. All right. So this is just to show you why it's so helpful to have both eyes up. So this is left eye, right eye, and you can see things that are going on in the heart, thymus, fear of losing love. You know, this is the left brain. This is the right brain. This is how it works. That's the whole body. So this is just to give you a sense of the difference in eyes and what they're saying, what they're showing. This is the, oh, come on, where's my mouse? I know my mouse is going to work. It went away. Hello. Oh, that's weird. Oh. Hello. I know you all can hear me. I just haven't figured out what happened to my mouse. So come on, mousey. Let's see if I can make this work. No. Well, fascinating. First time I ever had a mouse go down. Come on, buddy. Well, anyway, I'll talk about it for a minute and we'll see if I can get this thing to work. Choose to know what to do here. They're beautiful, yes. How many love the pictures of the eyes? I'm just going to see if, give it a quick charge. All right, now, no, it's DOA. Well, I may have to call it a night because my mouse is like, no, not going to work. So, I mean, I can't even get it to go back to where we were. It's going to be tricky because, you know, I mean, I can always hook up another mouse. I got one sitting right here, but well, let's do Q&A for now. Go ahead and ask, mic yourself and ask questions. I can manage that easily. So, or comments or anything. None. Adam, you can hear me, correct?
Yeah, you're good, man. I'm surprised.
Amy here.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
How do we get a session and get our pictures taken?
You find somebody with a camera, and so I've got a list to show you all of where cameras are in the U.S. and in Australia and also in Sweden. Yeah, and my list is what you could do is just connect with the office. I'm going to see if I can. Maybe my mouse would like to have its eyes red. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, you can find somebody. Go ahead.
In the bio-optic course, do you get your eye taken, and you get
No, hold on, dear. You have to be in a live training with me to get your eye photo taken.
okay. I'm just trying to clarify what I had signed up for. I'm doing the All For You Now, and then but the bio-optic is in there. In there. So in that stage, would I get the picture?
Again, I'm going to say it again, just so you understand. You have to come to do a live event to get your eye photos taken.
Oh, okay.
Because you actually have to be present with a camera to get your eye. So what I do is train people how to do it. It'll be up to you to get your own photos. And that's where I've got this list, and hopefully my mouse here will work in a minute.
So
Where are you, Andrea? Where are you, Andrea?
I'm in Grand Cayman. So
Kind of close to Texas.
yeah, it's not far. But no, at the moment our borders are very tight.
So what you could do is look around to find if somebody has an iridology camera. Got it. We've even had people get an adapter. And I mean, they were doable. They're not something I'd like to rely on to really do the great thing, but you can at least get a start for where you are. So it's a different type of lens you put on an iPhone and a little macro lens, and you can take a doable, I'll put it that way, photo of your eye.
And Bob, if you choose, I have the list pulled up of cameras across the country and Sweden and all that. If you choose.
Yeah, swap it out and let's see what we can do with that. That's a great idea.
So we have Northport, Alabama, Texarkana, Arkansas, Gilbert, Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, Carmel, California, Los Angeles, Newark, California, San Diego, Vacaville, California, Jacksonville, Florida, Orlando, however you say this name, Cattle, let's see.
I know, me too.
Cattle, Idaho. Cattle. Belleville, Illinois, Denham Springs, Louisiana, Kingsport, Tennessee, Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas, Katy, Texas, Midland, Texas, San Antonio, Strandquist, Minnesota, Clarksville, Maryland, Sicklerville, New Jersey, Allen Street, New York, West Seneca, New York, Allison Park, Pennsylvania, Travelers Rest, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, White Salmon, Washington, Ogden, Utah, Brevard, North Carolina. And then if you're in Australia, we have one in Mullumbimby, and then Habo, Sweden.
A nice road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Adam,
Yes.
I also have one in North Dakota, Williston, North Dakota.
And then we have one in North Dakota. There you go.
Where can you purchase these cameras?
We know a guy.
Yeah, we've got them. Hold on. So look, I finally found a non. I got it working. So let's do this. It's a spazzy little guy. All right, you can all see my pointer now, right? Or I don't know if you can, but I know I'm able to do this. So let's go. Gosh, this is a fast little mouse. All right, let's go do. Let's get some stuff. So I'll show you with the list. You can email us if you like any of those things. Email support@masterysystems. We don't hook up people directly to who has a camera. We will just forward your email to them and you work out whatever and get iPhotos. And we have a camera that you can purchase that was built for us. There it is. And this mouse is wild, man. It's right here. It has a case. It's awesome. And this is 24 megapixel, and it's currently 3888, which is about $500 savings, something like that. And Normally it used to be 4888 and you got the edits with it. We took the edits out and we also had the people go direct. So if you'd like a camera, you can get your own. We have you order direct from our person that manufactures it and just connect with support@masterysystems.com and you'll be able to. Could you all see that? Did I show or not?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great. And let's go do this one thing here.
Hey, Bob, I have a question.
What?
I had someone ask me today, and I know you know the answer to this. How does LASIK surgery affect an eye reading?
Not much, because it doesn't really change the construct of the iris, sclera, and pupil. It's just as long as it's done currently. I mean, remember some of the pictures I showed you where like the knife slipped and all.
Yeah, I do remember those.
Yeah, and that's long before they did it. Anyway, so I haven't noticed it changes the structure of the eye. It's just simple little slit in the shape or whatever, but it doesn't change the eye reading at all that I've seen. I don't even know. Frequently, I would say 90% of the time, I don't even know if they've had surgery or not on that because they do such a great job now. And in the past, I mean, I almost threw up many times looking at some of the pictures I saw. It's like, anyway, so that's that. So
awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I will show one more thing. So when I showed you the zones of the eye, let's go share this. I've been a person who appreciates, let's do this real quick. No, it's not going to do it. This particular drawing, I studied, this is supposedly a picture of the mighty I am presence, I believe it is. And having red eyes my adult life, one day, this is about 10 years ago, whatever, I realized, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this 7. Oh, exactly the same as the eye. And this is called the mighty I am presence. I thought, boy, I'm really sharp. It only took me 40 some years to figure that out. And how cool is that? It's like, wow, that's really cool. So I thought I'd share that with you. All right, back to this. Any other comments, questions, statements?
One more on the eye where it had the little openings and it wasn't the nice wavy lines. So is the goal to have the wavy lines and not those closures or openings that you showed?
So first of all, the goal is to love everything where you are now. Mm-hmm. If you don't love it, ain't going to change it. I mean, I can say that I can watch your body language and realize that you went, sure, whatever. So any of that, yeah, help me if I'm right on. Would you rather have it be right? And none of it's going to work if we're right. Only when we love whatever's up, just the way it is, will it have a chance to fold or unfold or blossom into who we are. So the goal is to love where we are, because that's what the eyes show. It's not who we are. And as the person moves upscale, their eye will get lighter. Their fibers will get straighter. The sclera will pull off the eye, which that's their presence in the world. So if there's a whole bunch of the white of the eye covering them, that's codependence. So once they realize, all right, I set my healthy boundaries, I teach my world how to honor me. And then somebody will go from, instead of hiding, they'll go to shining. They'll go from fear to fierce. They'll go from shy to shine. So let's say if somebody has a whole bunch of the white of the eye covering them, like that one photo I showed, where, they're literally not wrong. They just came to take on the burden of codependence and then to change, forgive, and love, and then shine fiercely. And I mean, it's so amazing to have somebody go from a contracted state, Rita, to an expanded state. And that's what this is all about. So the goal is to love where we are.
Okay, thank you.
And once we love where we are fully, and I mean, that's bigger than what it seems. Everyone, talk to me, those that have been with me on this, how many came in? Me too. Like, like way back 50 some years ago, when I saw my eyes change, I was in forever. When I saw my eyes change, I mean, and people would go, oh, your eyes look different. And I was like, oh, wow. And, this before I had a camera, before anything else, I just knew something was going on. And that's why I was like into it. Well, now, even I, in the beginning, it was like, oh, this is right and this is wrong. When I found in the right, wrong domain, we don't make much progress. But when somebody can love right where we are, yo, fear, I love you just the way you are. I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel. This is the all for you material where I start everybody. And we now have a brand new version, all for you Accelerator 2. And it's shared by me and a whole training and then by our team, much deeper than I take it. And that's coming up. We have January 18th, I believe, is when we start the next one. We have one going on right now. And then anyone who comes to become certified or at a facilitator level, and I'm doing one January, Sacred Body Language Translation, January 6th. And then we start Bio-Optic Holography February 2nd. And we do Life Upgrade Coaching. They all fit together. Life Upgrade Coaching, March 16th. These are designed for people to, if they choose after that, to get certified in each one of these, which means they're going to be tested by me to make sure. So instead of, normally in the past, I do certification or whatever I did, training for people. People would, they study a whole bunch and then I'd help them figure out from there. Well, now I realize a lot of people are not studying the videos, and I still recommend it's my high choice to everybody have them. And yet right now, what's coming up is all live online, no pre-study required other than all for you. Everybody gets to do all for you before they start, so they know how to transform. Then they won't say, what's the goal? The goal is not to change your eyes. That'd be like polishing a mirror, Rita. The eyes are literally in other words, the goal is to love completely, to shine completely, to awaken. We are a sun presence. I am that I am. That's our outcome. And then if I see something in my eye that's not that, orange, wavy fiber, dark brown, whatever, my job is, I came to resurrect whatever's in my life into what it's meant to be. And I can only do that with love. Only love does that. So the whole thing is about I love, I touch, I breathe, I stay, I feel. And then I add, like if I have assimilation challenges or doubt, I trust my love. I love my trust. I receive with grace and ease. If I have shoulder challenges, should, SHOULDER, all. So instead of should'er, this is my should'er. Yep. Okay. So again, if I have shoulder challenges, in other words, I most likely received a blessing that I didn't acknowledge. So again, the eyes show, this is what the deep dive in this instruction is about, and really helps with life, is everyone that has burdens actually most likely has been delivered a blessing they didn't accept, acknowledge, receive, appreciate. And so the blessing bestowed that's not accepted or received turns into a burden. So when I work with anyone, as Heather Harbaugh is scratching her upper back, I thought, do that again, honey. That was really good. You got good mobility there. That was awesome. That's why I love this. I can see everybody. It's awesome. So again, the whole idea is when I was taught how to see what's wrong in iridology, I now realize if I see right through that, there's a strength inside of everything. So we have strengths and strengths becoming. And that's a fact for me now. It's not just being positive. That help?
That does. Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome.
And I just want to say while I'm on here, I got to see you in 2006 when you were with Greg Braden and
Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Yes, in Southern California.
And which one was it?
It was in 2006 in Irvine, California.
Irvine. Good. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for saying that. We had fun. I was the new kid on the block then.
Yeah, but it was awesome.
Was Irvine the one where the gentleman came up and I was going to demonstrate sacred body language translation? He was a little bit older, like probably where I'm now. He comes up, I told everybody no names of disease. And then he goes up, he gets at the mic and goes, I have prostate cancer. And I was like, no, that's not going to work. Is that the one?
Yes,
where he started this shake and do a sine wave?
Right. And then I saw you in Sacramento and I got your book, The Conscious Language.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here tonight. Awesome. Cool. Any other comments or questions?
Could I ask?
Yeah.
Could I ask the question?
You did, yeah, and you can actually ask another one. Go ahead, Susan. I'm an idiot. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I missed the first hour because I didn't realize it was Eastern. My husband's eye color has changed. Does any of this conscious learning or what we're doing here now, could that affect eye color if he is becoming I can't say a better Christian, but more, what word am I
More full of
thinking?
light.
Right. I mean, he's more aware of truth.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, his eyes were brown and they're not brown anymore.
Well,
and
then yes, that's exactly what this is about. Not right or wrong, but just when we move upscale, again, no matter whether we have brown or whatever color our eyes are, if we move upscale, our eye gets lighter. If we're going downscale, our eye gets darker. If we move upscale, the fibers will get straighter, the pupil will usually get smaller, which means we're able to respond versus react. So
yeah, his eye doctor is totally confused on the eye color change.
well, you now know that he's moving upscale. He's awakening his anointed self, yes?
I would say yes, with his spiritual walk. Yes.
So be it, so be it. And what I say about that, just as a joke, I'm telling everybody ahead of time. So we're either annoying or anointed.
Well, he's annoying, but you know.
You're so cool. Well, and just remember, see his anointed self only. That's how we can help each other. That's the whole point. See perfection in each other. It helps us. We keep 60% of whatever we seemingly send out. You know, so you keep seeing him thriving in his awakened self. Yes? And that's what happens with the eyes. I mean, my dad had to he went from black, brown eyes to blue eyes. And I mean, he didn't really do what I was doing. And I already had blue eyes, so it didn't show that way. But, and so my sister, they both had to get their driver's license changed to blue eyes. So remember, every one of you, all of us, those of us that are loving love even more in the ways that we do, is helping everyone in our world. Anything else, Susan?
No, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Anyone else?
May I ask a question?
Yes, is this Jen?
Yes.
Go ahead, dear.
So I think I'm the only Asian and have dark, or they call it more black than brown. But anyway, I have what they call, like, you have a mole on your skin, right? But they are saying it's on my white area. And I didn't have it before, and it appeared, and I was wondering.
Sure, so it's in the white of the eye, the sclera, correct?
In the white area.
Okay, and is it in the right or left eye?
I believe it's, I forgot, maybe left.
Well, you go look and I can help you with it. If you have a mirror close by, go run and take a look. I'll wait.
Okay.
Because this is pretty cool if we can get it nailed down to what it is. And vote her victory, everybody, yes? Cool.
Sorry, that was on my right side.
Yep, and that's where you talked about right first. And it's in the white of the eye. And would you say it's straight out at, let's say, 9 o'clock?
It's out on my right side.
On the right side. Is it more, if your iris was a clock, would you say it's straight out or up or down?
It looked like more straight out.
Yeah, so in other words, if it was a clock, if it was a clock, it'd be straight out from 9 o'clock, yes?
Oh, no, it's on my right side, so it'll be like from 3 o'clock to.
See, 3 o'clock would be medial. Here's my right eye. 3 o'clock is medial. This 9 o'clock is outside, so it's towards your ear, correct?
Oh, yes, then that's 9 o'clock, yes, if it goes that
all right,
way.
so have you had resentment with a male figure?
I'm not sure.
Who would know? Who could we call?
Oh, well, sorry. Not as much as more like with the female, I thought.
Well, it could be, but how about it could be work or masculine? So if it just showed up, it means, and let me ask it this way, the white of the eye is others, the iris of the eye is self. So if it's that little brown spot out there, usually it's resentment. And it could be that, do you feel resented? Judged?
Me being judged.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And do you enjoy it or do you hate it?
I hate it.
So now, bless your heart. How many can relate? I've got some of that. All right. So now, Jen, and we're voting your victory. Let's just know that I'm asking our team to do that. I recommend you forgive this judgment for no reason, because if you hate it, that's what you said. I hate being hated. So now I recommend you say, I forgive for no reason.
I forgive for no good reason.
For no good reason. No, I said, I forgive for no reason. She's good. Her
Sorry.
thought forms. Now say, I forgive for no reason.
I forgive for no reason.
Thank you. I forgive for no good reason. Yeah. That's a first for me. I'm going to write that in my memoirs. All right. So, and now say, love is forgiving.
Love is forgiving.
And giving.
Giving.
And giving.
And giving.
And giving.
And giving.
And giving.
And giving.
So is it time for you to forgive your outer world and begin to shine, love, and forgive?
Yes, it's time.
That's what that point means. And is it time for you to do your real service?
Okay.
Is
I
it-
think it's just because I had to think about it, because I don't focus on it or think about it.
Well, hold on.
But-
Is it time for you to serve the way you choose to?
Yes, it's time for me to choose to serve.
Right? And then you just went body language. You went to your right or left side of your nose, which means I can. So now say, I forgive and I love serving.
I forgive and I love serving.
And now I empower my world to appreciate me.
And I empower my word to appreciate me.
Say it again.
And I empower my word to appreciate me.
Good. And do you feel that in your being, in your feeling world?
Yes.
Good. See, and we have to feel it to get it to move. So good job. And everybody just imagine she's shining and her world loves her. Yeah, I'm going to get it. Just do it. So thank you, Jen. Perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else?
I have a question.
Is Lorna?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Anna took a picture of my eyes at her house, and my right eye at the bottom, there was no black. Like, you know how this around the circle of your pupil, there is a black ring. And at the bottom of my right eye, it was folded under, or you couldn't.
You're talking about the inner core of the iris?
Yes. Around the black part.
Got it.
You
So
know how
the
there's
inner
that
core, of the iris, and then the pupil. So this would be at the pupil.
Yes, excuse me. It was around there at the very bottom of the pupil. It was like folded under. There was not a.
I got it. So have you withdrawn your belief that you'll ever be able to be secure with men?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, again, anytime it's dropped away, it just means pulled back. And it goes right to reproductive, it goes to leg, it goes to all that area. If it's at 6 o'clock, that's what it would be. So is it time for you to give yourself permission to receive and trust what you receive in what you do in the world and or with men?
Yes.
And was your father there to support you in understanding?
My father was emotionally unavailable, but he was there in every other way.
I got it. So that could just be that he didn't necessarily teach you how to do that. So you'll have to go direct to your creator to get it. Yes?
Yes.
No big deal. So our greatest weakness, so how about I fully understand how to receive?
I fully understand how to receive.
And I receive with ease.
I receive with ease.
Here's what you said, I receive with ease. And your head said, no, just subtly. So I fully understand. Hell no, I won't go, not wrong. So I would say work with it. Yes, really stick with it until you can feel it, make a new choice. Yeah, be about it. Yes.
Okay. I receive with ease.
Good. Good. Voter victory, everybody. This is fun. Anybody else?
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. All right, we're good. I think we're at what time? Yes, go ahead, Pamela. You did it. You did it. Raise your hand.
I did it.
Awesome.
What if there's lots of yellow in your eye, especially with all the little?
It means you have to go pee-pee. No, I'm just kidding. That's not it. All right, so it's orange, yellow and orange are confusion. So have you had some confusion?
Yeah.
And yeah. And have you used confusion as an excuse? Oh, I'm confused, instead of let yourself feel what you feel.
Yeah.
So now say, I love my confusion into my clarity.
I love my confusion into my clarity.
I'm secure in my genius.
I'm secure in my genius.
Now, even now you're kind of, your head's, I know. And what?
That literally hurt my head.
Yeah, I'll bet. Your head's going, what's going on? I was supposed to, and that just means you took on a whole bunch of sulfur to sedate that it wasn't okay to shine your clarity. And because of the way you're seen and what you said, because of the way you've been seen and what you said. How many sergeants go, quack, quack? How many go? And their body will tell the whole story. It's so cool. So now say, I love being seen and expressing my truth.
I love being seen and expressing my truth.
Yeah, and I'm secure in my clarity.
And I'm secure in my clarity.
What was that? Well,
This horrible itch. I had to itch and I tried not to.
Yeah, right. Good luck. It's like, anyway, yep. So again, it's work, and that's where body language is so valuable in all coaching, because we can get to a point of this is going on, I got orange. But when we start asking questions, everyone will tell what it is and begin to move it. So how do you feel now? And our greatest weakness should be our greatest strength. So how do you feel now that you are secure in your clarity? How many saw the breath? How many saw she took it and exhaled? That's awesome. So how do you feel now that you're secure in your clarity?
There's a freedom there that I haven't had.
There, and I just say, I feel.
Here. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom means you don't charge, but what else? Who's free?
I'm free.
How about I freely express
I freely express
my genius
my genius
and my clarity?
and my clarity.
Yep. And is that emotional? Yes or no?
Yes.
And are you touching and running or touching and staying?
I think I'm running.
You think I'm running? She's no longer right here. She's 400 miles away. Just say it's okay to run.
It's okay to run.
Yo, running.
You're running.
I love you.
I love you.
Wherever you run, wherever your thought form runs, I love you all the way.
I love you all the way.
Cool. And I touch and I stay.
And I touch and I stay.
So again, the orange is there because you needed a little buffer. Got it? And now as you begin to get clear and confident and even expressing all that, got it? So is it time for you to, from when I first met you to where you are now, you're way more present, sharing in your game, doing the deal. So this is just the rest of, oh yeah. So you might as well have the whole enchilada versus just chips and salsa. Yes?
Yes.
So how about I'm glorious in shining my clarity?
I'm glorious in shining my clarity.
Say it again.
I'm glorious in shining my clarity.
My world loves my clarity.
My world loves my clarity.
And did your dad love your clarity?
I don't know.
Who would know? Who could we call?
I don't know my biological father. So
everybody hear it now. I'm just, again, so now do you get a sense that you're healing, whether you ever knew him or not? You're coming online to your full genetic strength. Yes?
Yeah, I'm getting really hot.
Yeah, awesome.
Can you see how hot I'm getting?
Now, how many? I won't even have to start my fireplace tonight. I mean, my wood stove.
I'm shining.
Yes, exactly. So what you're doing is remembering your DNA strength. That's why I say it works experientially and genetically. Yes?
Yes.
So just say, I remember my lineage.
I remember my lineage.
And I express my truth.
And I express my truth.
Yes. And I forgive everything else.
And I forgive everything
Did
else.
you notice that?
I noticed that.
I only saw that. And I forgive. No, I don't. I forgive. Look at her. I can, I will. She went right there. I can, I will. I can, I will. I can, I will.
I forgive.
Yeah. Say it again. I forgive who?
I forgive myself.
Good. For what?
Hiding forever.
There you go.
Hiding up until this point.
Honey, that's awesome. A+. Vote her victory, kids. This is really what it's all about. We just start moving through the veil into who we really are. And then we get seen in a new way. Yes?
Oh, I just stopped hiding. I moved my hair out of my face. Oh, I shine.
Careful. No, just kidding. Well, yeah, do you get it? How many love? This is just stepping in, staying with it. These are always remembering. We literally remember our strength. We literally remember our greatness. That's what it's in us. We just flourish it, bring it on out. Excellent. Thank you, dear. I vote your victory.
Thank you.
Listen to all of y'all. I'm a mess.
How about say that
I have a
differently?
long way to go.
How about I'm moving upscale?
Moving uptown, yeah.
Yeah, moving uptown. We got some great one-liners in here. We're moving uptown. Anyone else? Heather Harbaugh, would you like to share what your deep dive in the Bio-Optic has been like?
If you don't mind listening to some Christmas music in the background.
No, I think it's wonderful.
Yes, so it's been super cosmic for me. Me remembering to shine and not hide, Pamela, I can really relate. I used to have bangs, and then I realized I stopped wearing bangs having bangs about the time I was remembering to shine. And my most recent group session was a couple of weeks ago, I think now. And remembering on a whole new level for me, my I am presence is already in me as me. And from when I first discovered Bob, and I went to the immersion 2 years ago, and or a year, seems like 2 years, a year ago, I guess, really. But if I could have skipped Bio-Optic Holography, I would have. But it was right in the middle of the immersion. And I thought it was great and neat and all that. But when I sat there and I started to understand how sacred this is, and how our perfection is in our eye, and Bob's way to help me let go, transmute my right and wrong into only love, has helped me in embracing my mighty I am presence and living in my I am and shining my I am more fully as I am. Conscious of being conscious, of God being conscious, of me being conscious of me. Period.
I love it. And I'll share, many people go, yeah, I'm on that, but not the eye stuff, because they don't necessarily see themselves getting a camera. It's way more than that. Even if you never do a formal reading, just if you're going to facilitate somebody, literally a little quick little look in their eyes, just sitting with them. You will literally know their mission in life and what their major challenges and how to help them, whether their stress is internal or externalized. It's all so fast, and it helps me vote victory. It helps me see their victory. In the beginning, I might have to do a whole bunch of fact finding and debriefing or whatever. The moment I see their eyes, I know exactly how to support someone. So anyway, just know that's what it's all about. And literally, it's the class that, it's one of the most repeated classes. Sacred Body Language is the most interested. Everybody goes, oh, I love to dig and scratch. All right. But the eyes are, you don't have to wait for something to fire off as a signal. It's literally the whole map. And the minute we shift something, it shows in the eye. If it doesn't show in the eye, we didn't shift it. So it's a biofeedback, so to speak.
And I choose to share one more thing, Bob.
I knew that.
That all of you can do this. It's super easy. You just go in the mirror and you look yourself in the eye and you see your I am. You see your eye full of light. You don't have to wait for a reading. You can have your miracle right now, and your eye can change instantaneously to reflect where you are in your belief, period.
Amen. And we have a second self inside of us. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get that second self, our white fire being self, our, for me, Holy Christ self. I love that there's real, Paul said, paraphrased a little, unless you fail the test, Christ is in you. I'm going to say as you, unless you fail the test. So what we're doing is that we have a second self inside, which is our true nature. And I'm not doing religion. I'm just saying that's in everybody. And so if I make eye contact with somebody, my job is to just go right past whatever personality, mine and theirs, and see only their anointed self. And when I do that, it's strong for me. I mean, it's a blessing for them, I imagine, but it's definitely amazing for me. Scripture, what you put your attention upon, that you become. So well, let's put our attention on light and love and whatever. It's really the deal. So thank you. Who else? All right, go ahead, Christina.
Hi, I'm having a problem with my eyes, and I don't know if it's related.
Let's change that word problem to how about I'm having an opportunity?
Okay, sounds good. I like that.
So say it.
This could just be because I was wearing contacts too long, just wearing maybe them 2 days instead of one, trying to save money.
Oh, there we go.
But my eyes are for weeks now itchy and red. They're not itchy all the time, but they're just red all the time. They're totally bloodshot.
Okay, so hold on. So besides making sure you're taken care of by a professional, I'm not going to say, this is just an addition. So the white of the eye is others. So have you been irritated by others?
Yes.
Did anybody see her going blink, blink, blink? Yes. And I'm not laughing at you, honey. You were just going, well, basically, that's it. So is it time for you to forgive the irritation of others?
Well, that's a difficult one.
All of these are going to be, now say, I choose to make it easy to forgive.
Well, I'm only saying that because I guess I feel guilty over the irritation because it's one of my children.
Now, how many of you done the double indemnity? Where I feel bad about being judgmental, about being guilty, about being wrong, about hating, I recommend I forgive for no reason. Just try it, Christina. I forgive.
Like, am I forgiving myself?
Yes, and everyone in your world.
I can do that.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Okay, I forgive myself for being irritated.
Yeah, there you go. Say it again.
I forgive myself for being irritated.
Now say, I love what I see.
I love what I see.
And I see what I love.
And I see what I love.
And so you're starting on a new path and something comes up, I forgive you. I forgive you for no reason. Nobody can really deserve forgiveness. So you just forgive it and then what can I see that's beautiful in this situation? Begin to see beauty. Begin to see harmony. Begin to claim it. Miracles happen so fast. Adam, where's Adam? Wave at me. There. Well, watch this. So will you share your story of your thumbnail? This is for you, Christina.
Okay.
So this is when I first met Bob, got the job to go as his tour manager on tour. Fly to North Carolina, pack up the truck, get everything ready. I grab a conscious language book and a sacred body language translation book for our ride. And we're maybe 30 miles. We maybe just barely crossed into the border of South Carolina. Bob lives pretty close to the border there where he's at, North Carolina, but maybe 30 minutes into our drive. And I'm thumbing through the body language book. And I come to the page that has different descriptions of the fingernails. You know, if you have a square nail or a round nail, or if you have horizontal lines or vertical lines, or if you have white spots, and I come to the picture that has these horizontal ridges, and then it has a description of like what it could be. But I look over to Bob and I'm like, hey, can you help me, figure this out or translate it? Because I had these huge ridges on my thumbnails. And they were more pronounced on my right thumb. And so basically he kind of pauses and like he does sometimes and makes me sweat a little bit before actually engaging with me. And basically energetically, he's like, are you really ready for this? And anyway, he begins to facilitate me. And even before I go into that, so I've had lots of energy work, counselors, psychologists, therapists to help me with my anger and resentment. And I mean, real deal, wanted to take my father off the planet anger because of what he did to me as a child, what he did to my siblings, my mother, all that kind of stuff. And when I went and seen all these other people, it was temporary relief. But because of these systems of mastery systems and what Bob's discovered and developed, we were able to get to what my anger was really about. And he was able to support me in basically putting myself in my dad's shoes and being able to forgive him because he didn't know any better. I mean, he did the best he could, you know, being a young man at like 25 years old and having 5 freaking kids. Like, I mean, it's crazy when I think about it. I couldn't have done it. But anyway, he helped facilitate me and walk me through to make brand new choices that, like, by the end of that week, or by the time we got to Houston, the ridges on my thumb were almost all the way gone. And then as I worked on it a little bit more and resolved some things, made some new choices about how I saw my father, how I chose to be a father myself, because I have 2 kids as well, those ridges completely went away because I was able to forgive and just love him just because I can. And it was, you know, it wasn't his fault. I made up all these stories, even though maybe some of it was true in my experience. I made them even more deeper and wild and crazy than they really were. So it's pretty fascinating just what
happened with your dad?
Oh yeah, this is way cool. So at this point, I hadn't even spoken to him in double-digit years. And so like the first time I encountered him, it was actually, he actually reached out to me to invite me to a Father's Day, you know, barbecue with all my siblings and nieces and, you know, all his grandbabies. And just to see the way that he interacts with all of our children, I mean, isn't amazing? He's an amazing grandpa. He loves them dearly. He's always with them. I mean, he babysits 3 of, you know, my brother's kids that are 5 and under. And just to see him the way he is, brand new, and him even coming up to me and saying, "I'm proud of you. I love the man you've become," and hug me for the first, like, I never had any of that stuff as a kid. We never had any physical contact. I never heard any of those words. And for him to finally give that to me in my late 30s was just amazing.
How'd you do it?
Because I changed everything in me.
Yep.
I mean, he didn't do one thing. We didn't have one conversation. I just saw him differently. And I also felt differently about me and who I was. So therefore it goes out into my external world.
Yep. Thank you. It's a great story. I love it. Love it. How many of you are looking at your thumbs right now going, what? So Christina, do you get it? This is real stuff. So if you'll just forgive for no reason, I forgive just because I forgive. I call it radical forgiveness. And imagine, just remember the scripture. I love it. It says, "I have ways you know not of, and are beyond finding out." So how is it going to happen? How is that going to happen for Adam? There's no how involved. It's what. We identify the what. God figures out the how. The universe figures out the how. So I forgive means I start giving again and giving again and giving again. And then I love what I see. That comforts my eyes. And I see what I love. And I love being seen. And you just start working all that. And all of a sudden you'll notice, like the ridges, normally anyone else would say, well, once we change your digestion and all the other stuff, it'll take 6 months to grow out your nails. No, it doesn't. Like white spots. I remember I worked with so many people in the nutrition, herbal, whatever. And it always say, no, it doesn't. Give me anybody that's got white spots. And I help them figure out what the thought form is and change it. Next day, the white spots are gone. And I'm going, well, that tells you right there that you don't have to wait 6 months to grow out. The word becomes flesh. Boom. So Christina, how do you feel now that you are the embodiment of forgiveness for no reason?
Well, I've got to press into this a little further. I'm like, I think the small irritation I'm feeling towards one of my children, I think is just minor. I think there's something else happening there. There's
So
a deeper, there's a
Hold on,
deeper
your story,
irritation.
wait. Watch this. Your story is not required yet.
Yeah.
That's the one. Well, I think, stink. Got it? I recommend you say, I forgive anything, and just start with that. Radical. See, we ate from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That means thinking is the fall from grace. So I recommend, no matter what you've thought in the past, is it time to be made new? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So instead of thinking, remember, think rhymes with stink. So if you don't like the stinky of the stanky, danky, wanky, I recommend you forgive. So I'm just going to ask, how do you feel now that you found forgiveness first?
Free.
Good. And then how do you feel now that you're free?
light and ready to move forward.
So now instead of ready, now say I move forward.
I move forward.
Say it again.
I move forward.
So the system, I'm showing you the system. Each time you went no, a little no, not wrong, but that it just means that the no is strong. So now say, I say yes to me.
I say yes to me.
Say it again.
I say yes to me.
Say it again.
I say yes to me.
And stay with that and watch what happens. It's very helpful.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks.
All right, everyone. Any of you would like to, if you go, ooh, I like to get involved in coaching or whatever, Adam at masterysystems.com is how Adam, he supports people because he's been through it all. He helps design ways for people to participate. January 6th, we start for the Sacred Body Language Translation, all live certification. And then the step-by-step, somebody has to do that one before they can do Bio-Optic. And then after Bio-Optic is Life Upgrade Coaching. So just know that we also have a Meta Body Electronics intro this week, I think.
Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just heard this voice come through, say Wednesday. So Wednesday, 8:30, probably same time. Yes. Yeah. So those of you that like to know more about this thing called acupressure, body electronics, it's quite amazing. And that comes up pre-register. Everybody, we ask everybody to be registered by January 1. And there's quite a bit of prep for that. Plus, we have 26 currently on site, and we have a maximum. The lodging is included for those that if we fill up, then somebody will have to get lodging off site. So just know that. All right, all of you. Hey, thanks for all for being on. How many of you are going to go look in the mirror now and look at your own eyes? I'll show this at Biltmore. It wasn't Biltmore. It was the other big, huge hotel in Asheville anyway. Whatever the name. So it's a really high-end place made with big, huge boulders. So I was teaching a class on it. We did a recess. So I'm in the men's bathroom. We probably have like 15 to 20 males in the class. And I walk in and all the people in the class are leaning forward in the big, huge mirrors, looking at their own eyes. And other people that weren't even in the class start to go, wow, I better look at my own eyes. So I walk in and there's all these people, some in the class, some not in the class, looking in their own eyes. And I'm doing my best not to completely laugh it out forever. So anyway, I recommend you remember, see perfection. Yes. Whatever it is, touch it with love. Cool? All right, everyone. Wednesday night, join us. Thank you all. Be well. No, you don't work, right? Is that what you're telling me?